established in 1636 by the Massachusetts Bay Colony at a time when, according to U.S. Census Bureau estimates, the total population was between 15 and 17,000 people. The small seminary-focused college, originally named New College, was the first in America, established near Boston in a small community then named Newtown, which was soon renamed Cambridge. This deeply religious, Puritan-based educational facility began with a single building, 1 acre of land, 10 students. Who at the time would have predicted that almost 600 years into the future, that fledgling college would by any measure be rated among the top 5 universities in the world, often cited as #1, and would flourish with about 30,000 students. But this presentation is focused on the early years of Harvard, having been so renamed in 1639, and focusing also on a family that played a significant role in the early development of Harvard, starting with Increase Mather in 1685, who became Harvard's president. Increase, along with his son Cotton, which is the subject of this particular article, both attended Harvard, and both were extreme, strict interpreters of the practices and doctrines then of Puritanism. It is also very difficult to read about the early years in the development of Harvard University and not think about our own time. Issues that would look as though they were being presented in our own 24-hour video news cycle apparently were present and just as divisive and passionate in the 17th and throughout the 18th centuries as they are today. Issues such as colleges not being conservative enough, ignoring their original purposes, which for Harvard was mainly to train and educate future ministers, and also religious leaders. Additional issues such as notorious and frivolous behavior of students and faculty alike, and the resultant wasting learning experience. As described in detail by Kenneth Minkema in his New England Quarterly Journal essay about reforming Harvard, which was published in June of 2014, Cotton Mather was a firm believer in the process of the decay of Harvard by the early 1700s. He aspired to, but never achieved, the presidency of Harvard and saw the college as morally decaying. Having recently uncovered new details and letters written by the Mathers and focusing on those of Cotton Mather, the issue addressed all during his life and his longtime association with Harvard University were brought forward for publication. Although he never personally fulfilled his lifelong goal of the presidency of the university, his father held that role for many years and was known as a very traditional and vigorous religious leader who most likely had a role in triggering the Salem witch trials through his book published on witchcraft. During his term as president, he was apparently in absentia for the majority of the time he served, and under his watch, the university physically decayed and declined. In the concluding paragraphs of his article on Cotton and his association with Harvard, Minkema includes the fact that Cotton's son, Samuel, also attended Harvard, which gave Cotton the opportunity to send a now published letter to his son advising how to behave and conduct his life while at the school. All the while, inside the letter, detailing his belief in the decline of the institution. Minkema notes that in his later years, Cotton, possibly redeeming himself somewhat, adopted some of the newer attitudes and attributes being developed both in Europe and the colonies to modernize and somewhat liberalize the educational process and proceedings. Minkema concludes his article by stating, and I quote, "Was Mather naive, heroic, or both? Who had the greater vision, he or his opponents?" Such are the questions that will continue to be debated in the years ahead. In this profound statement, which we can all ponder by historians, educators, and students alike. Thank you.